Scorpio Sun and Rising. Welcome to your January 2025 Astral Update. It's Raina here. I've been talking about the new moon in Capricorn because it's at the end of the month of December. It's a black moon, so it has additional potency. It's the second new moon in the month of December. And as I record this, it has not come up yet. So a lot of you may actually be listening before it happens. So I want to mention that because it brings us into the new year. So on December 30th, we have a new moon, the second new moon in the month of December it's at 9 degrees of Capricorn. For Scorpio individuals, this is the third house. This is the house that one of your rulers, Pluto, has transited or had transited for, a decade and a half. This is a general reading, so I can't say for sure that, you still don't have Pluto in the third house. But just for the sake of the signs that occupy these different houses, Capricorn is the third house for you, and Pluto left that sector on November 19th. And now is in your fourth house of home and family. That should be a lot of fun. And so this new moon in the third house is all about your mindset. Maybe you have especially since you've had Pluto hang out in this area for so long, maybe a lot of Scorpio people have transformed the way that they think. Whether you call it rewiring your brain, or for some people that meditation has helped you to transcend any kind of tendency to be very reactive and all of that stuff. This new moon could be like a real new beginning because, it's coming on the heels of Capricorn having left here. And on the 2nd of January, Venus goes into Pisces. Pisces is a fellow water sign, so it forms a nice trine. And Venus is going into your 5th house of love and creativity. I could say love and romance. Romance meaning like if you're dating someone. Love could be somebody, if you've been married for 50 years, it could be about your the quality of your relationship and how much you actually care for that person. But yeah, so Venus goes into this sector, can be also good for creativity and also art appreciation, because the 5th house can be pastimes, meaning the things you do on your off hours when you're not working. So maybe you're going to art galleries, maybe you're doing some artistic projects yourself. You also have Neptune and Saturn in this sector. Saturn has made, Saturn has been here a lot less time than Neptune for sure. Neptune in the 5th house has brought this idealistic attitude for Scorpio people about finding your soulmate. But I have to say, for some of you guys who are single, Neptune in the 5th house may have brought one or more people that you dated that turned out to be deceptive, that turned out to be other than what you thought they were. Maybe they had addictions, that's Neptunian. Maybe they lied, that's deception, that's Neptunian. Maybe they just had some kind of problems and you might have been very sympathetic to them, but hopefully you never allowed people with serious problems into your inner circle, so to speak. Saturn makes you very serious about love. Both Neptune and Saturn are going to go into Aries during sometime in 2025. So that's very exciting. But anyway, on the 3rd, Mercury comes out of its shadow phase. It went in Sagittarius. This is your second house of earned income, Scorpio. So you may have had the check that got lost in the mail. And now that Mercury finally has come out of its shadow right after the new year, it's really a great time to move ahead with money matters. On the 6th, Mars goes back into Cancer. So Mars began its retrograde motion in Leo in December, and exactly a month later is now in fellow water sign Cancer. So how that worked out is Leo is your 10th house of career. Now it's in your 9th house. So it's very possible that some Scorpio people have had a change of heart when it comes to going for it career-wise. When Mars is direct in your 10th house, you're very ambitious, you're very energetic about accomplishing goals in career. When Mars is retrograde, you may feel like you can't, like you're thwarted. You may feel like you don't have the energy, but I do believe that in some cases you lose the desire for whatever this is. And there might be a good reason. It could be that you're not meant to be doing certain things. Maybe you thought that was what you wanted, and now you're not so sure. It can, when Mars goes back into that 9th house and it's in Cancer, you can get quite touchy about this, because the 9th house is your life philosophy, and you may feel like you have to defend it. Now, if there are people in your life who are kind of like giving their opinion on your decisions, that might not sit well with you. Especially since you may be in that searching mode in life, that philosophical mode where you're looking for the thing that's going to make you feel like you're doing what you came here to do. So it may be that you decide to kind of keep this to yourself, because I do believe that when you're in this you might be in this kind of transitional period, Scorpio, where it's not necessarily the time that you want to dedicate to seeking other people's counsel, or even, like even keeping them updated on every aspect of your life. And you may find that things work out a little bit better that way, because you may realize that you don't owe anybody an explanation, and it just makes life a whole lot more difficult when people are giving their 2 cents about things. And then on the 8th, we have Mercury going into Capricorn, finally, after Sagittarius. And this is that 3rd house that Mercury rules in astrology. So you could be putting your mental attention on social media, or like website building, something to that effect. On the 13th, there's a full moon at 24 degrees of Cancer, fellow water sign. in your ninth house, which is the house of the higher mind, the God house, the house of long distance travel, the house of higher education. Full moon here could bring something to culmination. So if you're graduating, you're getting your diploma from college. Now, it could be even one thing it could be. Now, this would be probably the beginning of a new semester, and you may just like go to the first week of classes and say, "F this noise, I'm out of here." I mean, that's something to watch out for. I'm not against people like quitting things. I don't think we have to like, go through the whole rigmarole. Even if we start something, we may decide, I don't like this. I don't want to invest any more time or money into this particular thing. But the problem is that at this full moon, first of all, full moons are emotional. Cancer is a water sign, so that, increases the emotional aspect here. But in addition, Mars is in conjunction with this full moon, so there could be this tendency to be very hasty about whatever it is and acting out of emotion. So just keep that in mind. Okay, and then on the 19th, the Sun goes into Aquarius. On the 27th, Mercury goes into Aquarius. And on the 29th, we have a new moon at 9 degrees of Aquarius. Aquarius for Cancer, for Scorpio, is the fourth house of home and family. So this is that domestic side of life. There can be new developments with real estate, with your home base. I believe the fourth house is the mother. Some people say the father. So like for instance, with Mercury there, you could be speaking to one of these parents, maybe more than you normally have been, because Mercury has been slowed down due to the retrograde. And now that the holidays are over, maybe there's a new relationship that you're having with your mom, because you're thinking, Mercury can be the way you think about this relationship, and you're thinking about it a different way. It can also be your childhood. Maybe you have a new attitude towards your past. And of course, that can involve a lot of things. Oh, and by the way, when the Sun goes into Aquarius, it's going to form a conjunction to Pluto. Same with Mercury forming a conjunction with Pluto. The significance of this is that Pluto can transform your past. A lot of times we say, oh, well, you can't change the past. Well, that's true, but you can change the way you think about the past. And certainly people can feel very controlled by their past. And that can make it hard to heal. So this can be very good for the healing process. But yeah, there could be something new with home. Maybe like buying a home or something along those lines. On the 30th, Uranus turns direct at 23 degrees of Taurus. This is in your opposite sign, Scorpio, in opposite house. So Uranus is the planet that is very erratic and freedom-loving, unpredictable. That's why I said erratic, in the 7th house of committed partnerships. So as possessive, or whatever you want to call it, that Scorpio is, when Uranus is in your 7th house, you may have been uncharacteristically laissez-faire, kind of like more free about relationships. Maybe you have been, avoiding being in a serious relationship and you didn't even know why. And this is why. But if you are coupled and you do have basically a good relationship, you may have gone on a trip by yourself when 10 years ago you would have never have even dreamed of doing such a thing. So it can show that perhaps you do have some new ways of looking and behaving in relationships. So anyway, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.